Hi there, Perf Castro here and welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. We are here at Spaceport, Philippines, one of the latest creative spaces for audio and video right here in Makati City. And I have a very special video for you guys. We'll be diving into some new gear, and I am joined by my very good friend, Wonderkind, ace guitar prodigy, nephew. Yeah, Joko Orientazo right
Hey
here.
guys. What's
Yes.
up? What's up?
Okay, so Joko, what are you going to show me?
Yeah, so we have right here the newest NUX MG300 MK2. It's the updated version of our Mark 1 MG300. So it has more features, more amps, and yeah, updated stuff. Yeah. USB-C. We also have a TRS output, so you can use it in stereo. We also have customizable, fully routable signal blocks.
You can get the effects blocks and rearrange them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also have new effects like shimmer. We have a bass amp right
Okay.
here. More IR storage, so you have 24 IR slots.
Okay.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can also use it as a live streaming device.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
important because of the TRRS 1/8" jack.
Yeah, for the
Right.
phone's input. So you
Yeah,
can have like a headphone with a mic.
A mic with a headset or an earbuds with a onboard mic.
Yeah.
You can plug that in and then USB-C out to your phone
Yeah.
or laptop, and then that shows up as an extra audio interface
Yeah.
with a mic. So
Yeah.
you can actually talk and play at the same time.
You can also control the mic volume, the mic gain inside
Okay.
the MG300.
So today, since the MG300 Mark II is on the floor, we'll be controlling it with the QuickTone software.
Yeah, on my laptop.
Right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so the special thing about this video is Joko will help me build my presets that will come with the MG300 Mark II when it's released,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so when you buy it, it's instantly there in the factory settings.
Yeah, my tones as well as a couple of other Filipino
Yeah.
guitarists like Joe Malinaw of Kamikaze
Yep.
and Pacoy Fletcher of Typecast,
Yeah.
and of course Choco.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4 Filipino guitar player presets will come in the new MG300 Mark II. Okay, so let's dive into the presets. So basically, the way I set up my multi-effects, they're all based around the amp.
Yeah.
Like in my previous MG30 video, I want to get the most tones out of a single preset instead of changing patches all the time.
Yeah.
And that is possible with the NUX ecosystem
Yeah.
through the use of scenes.
Yeah, pro scenes.
Pro scenes, yes.
Yeah, so you can have totally different settings within a preset.
Yeah.
So you have 3 presets within a preset,
Yes.
basically, like something like that.
And it's not just toggle on off different effects. You can actually
Yeah.
save different settings or different effects
Yeah,
within the same
different
preset.
models, yeah.
Different models. Okay. Yeah, so within one preset, you can change your amp, you can change your distortion, you can change your delays.
Yeah, even the effects parameters, the routing. Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to take advantage of with these presets. The first preset will be centered around Super Reverb amp.
Yeah.
Super RVB.
The Perf Super RVB.
Okay, so that is the first preset. And this is basically a clean tone. So scene one is pretty much the unadulterated clean tone. Just little effects in it, a little bit of compression,
Yeah.
right? And the reverb.
So you have a compressor, the amp sound,
Yes.
and the reverb.
Yes, and the reverb is the spring reverb because, you know, if you're dealing with Fender style amps, you need spring reverbs. That is your reverb right there. And then the compression just makes everything bloom.
To level things out.
Level things out. Can you turn it off, please?
Okay, here.
Even without the compressor, it's already like nice and full. And just with the compressor on, just gives it a nice, like a bloom.
Cheat code.
There you go. Cheat code. And then let's take a look at closer look at the amp.
Okay, here.
So for the settings, I'm treating this like I would a real tube amp. With tube amps, you need to set the volume pretty high to get the maximum benefits of the tube tone. Since these are virtual tubes, we can get away with that safely and not blow our ear. So as you can see, the master is way up there. Like, yeah, 8. A super reverb with the master on 8 is like no more drums.
Yeah, exactly.
You make the drums disappear. But in the virtual form, it gives you some nice power amp, sag, and compression. And then to control the amount of low end, there's a slight cut in the bass frequency and a bump in the mids and the highs. Now let's dive into scene 2.
Yeah.
Scene 2 is basically your clean tube amp with a distortion pedal. The super reverb is pretty much same settings, but with a crunch distortion pedal in the front. So it's a little different flavor than my other high gain patches.
Also have an EQ right here for a bump in the mids. Yeah.
So the EQ is more of a solo boost. It sculpts the tone a little bit more and bumps up the level so you can easily cut through the mix. So without, with, then we have a different reverb for this one. So instead of the spring reverb, we're using the plate. And this shows you the flexibility of the scenes. Because in the previous scene, we had a spring reverb, and now we have a plate reverb. So technically, even though we are just dealing with a single preset, there's like presets within the preset, as you mentioned earlier. And then we go to the third scene, S3.
Yeah.
And this is my really wet ambient chorusy, instant 80s sound.
Kind of a Christopher Cross,
Yeah.
Eric Johnson style.
Yeah. So let's see what we have going on here. This is basically a wet version of scene 1. Right, so we have the same compressor. The amp settings are slightly tweaked. We lowered the mids.
Yeah, and the bass is, I think, lower bass.
Yeah, even lower bass. That way it sits nicely in the mix.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have a modulation, and this is a CE1.
Nice and subtle,
Nice
not
and
really overpowering.
Yeah, this is my favorite chorus. And then to help with the brightness a little bit more, we have a 6-band equalizer with just a bump in the highest frequency.
Around 6K.
6K. Okay, without?
It's really subtle.
Very subtle, yeah. Just a little bit of sparkle on top. And then we have a
brighter repeat.
Brighter repeats, a little more hi-fi. And then on the MG300 Mark II itself, there is a tap tempo button if you want to sync it to your backing tracks. However, for live use, that's a little cumbersome. But
you can also set the tempo here in quick tone. You can just type it in right here.
Yeah, and then save it within the preset.
Yeah.
Then you can change presets according to your set list. And finally, we still have the same plate reverb, right?
Yeah.
Joko, how different is this from the way you set your presets?
How I set my presets is I set it according to set lists. For example, preset 1 is my song bounce. So within one preset, I have a high gain amp, I have a clean amp, and I also have a crunch amp.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just switch presets whenever we play another song.
That's smart.
Yeah, so I don't have to do a lot of tap dancing, just focus on my playing.
That's pretty much the same idea I work with when I work with presets. That way you get the most out of a single spot on the multi effects. Now, if I were to switch the scenes live without the quick tone, how do we do that on the MG300?
So how you can set it up for live use is you can go to the global settings, then you have a foot switch menu right there. So you have the options to tweak the foot switches according to how you want to use it. So you have an up and down preset, you can have up and down scenes, and another one is for the third option, you can have the down foot switch to control the scenes and the up foot switch to control the presets. So you can just cycle through the scenes.
It's like a late activation.
Yeah.
So cycle through with this button, and then engage with this button.
Oh, it's instant activation actually.
Oh, okay.
So you can just cycle through, just switch instantaneously. So if you want to try it out.
Let's try it.
Okay. So it's already in scene mode.
So you can step up and down.
Yeah.
Actually. Nice. And then is there a delayed activation, like you can?
No.
No. So all the scenes are just step through, up and down.
Step through, up and down.
So let's go into my second preset. Okay, so the second preset is based around the Plexi 100 amp model, which is, it's actually one of my favorite amps in the NUX ecosystem because it behaves very similar to an actual Plexi. If you can take a closer look at all the amp controls,
Dial to 11.
everything is turned all the way up. And on an actual Marshall Plexi, that is the best setting.
Very chewy.
Very chewy, and with the NUX version, we actually save our ears.
Yes. And our neighbors' ears.
Yes, there you go. This amp model is very dynamic. You can go full tilt with your guitar knob all the way up. Roll your volume knob down. You can actually clean up really, really well. And you go through the different shades of overdrive depending on where you set your volume knob.
That's the magic of the TSAC algorithm that we use. Is when we capture the amps using this algorithm, we not only capture the sound but also the feel.
Okay.
And also how the different components of how the real tube amp reacts with each other. So you can capture an actual feel, the actual dynamics of using a tube amp.
Nice. Okay, let's go into the cab. I want to show them a couple of things.
Okay. Here.
Okay, so we're using a greenback 4x12 cab.
Yeah, one of the many options.
Yes, one of the many options. Now we're using the stock cabs in the MG300 Mark II, but you also have the option to load in your own IRs, right?
So you have around 24 free slots for third-party IRs. So now we're just using the greenback 4x12.
Yeah, stock. Now with the gainier amps, the volume level is not the same as with the clean amps. And to get unity, this is where you can tweak it. So we have the level bumped up 3 dB thereabouts. That way it evens out with my previous super reverb patch. And then another thing I like to do is to shave off a bunch of the low end, pretty much anything under 80 or 90 hertz. That way the tone does not compete with the bass guitar or kick drum or any other low-end instruments. It just cleans up the mix considerably in both recording and live situations. So that's something that you might want to play around with. Okay, so this is my basic patch, right? Which is pretty much just the Plexi and a hint of room reverb.
Right
so
here. It's very subtle.
Very subtle. Just a little bit of air around the tone. Yeah.
It's like putting a mic at the far side of the room.
Yeah, further away.
Yeah.
And it also gives the illusion of a really loud amp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go into scene 2. Scene 2 is inspired by that guitar in the back.
Yeah.
So if you have a Marshall and you put a phaser in front of it, then you get the iconic
VH1.
Yeah,
Van
yeah,
Halen one.
like really old style Van Halen.
Yeah.
But even then, like the phaser it just adds a little bit of bite to the tone, especially if you're playing a lot of like picked lead passages. It just makes it a little more.
It's like a subtle wah.
Yeah, there you go. Interesting. And then we have the same lead EQ boost as my previous patch. And then our delay is a tape echo. Yeah, a little more warmer. Set to around 500 milliseconds, 450 thereabouts. And we still have the same room reverb, right?
Yeah.
Now the main difference, the departure from the EVH tone is the use of the EAT distortion block. And this is a page out of Nuno Betancourt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he uses a rat style pedal to boost his JCM 800s to get it a little more percussive. Not necessarily to get more gain out of it. So if we turn off the phaser and the delay.
Here.
Yeah.
That's gonna me bypass it. First.
Bypass.
Here.
And you can hear the. This is really percussive. So you can go. And if you look at my settings, so you can see the distortion is like all the way down, volume is up to compensate, and then the filter is like a high pass filter. So the higher it goes, it actually the duller the tone gets.
Yeah.
So you just have to dial it according to your guitar. That way you can get a tone that cuts, but it's still thick and meaty.
The EAT or the rat just adds a certain type of compression.
It's not compression, but it's rather like a filter.
Okay.
Yeah, it filters out the frequency, all the flubby frequencies, and tightens everything up. So if you turn off the rat, so we can hear the difference.
Here, turned off.
Right? So suddenly it's like everything is plexi, flubby, flexi chewy, and all that, all the good plexiness. And then you turn it on. everything's nice and articulate and tight. And it's nice with a single coil neck pickup. And then if you turn on my delay again, so with the delay, the neck pickup tone is really nice. And you get a lot of harmonics. But at the same time, it's not like super high gain sounding.
Yeah.
You can hear all the complex chords. And it's still responsive to your volume knob. Okay, so that's that little trick. Okay, now let's go to S3.
Okay, S3.
Yes.
Here.
And this
Actually,
is
my favorite.
So we roll back the years by a decade or so. So this is still Plexi amp, tape delay, but now instead of a rat boosting the front end or shaping the front end, we use a fuzz. So, I mean, if I can't play it, but if you want to do the airy, yeah, the EJ-ish sound, then this is it. Fake Eric Johnson. The thing I like about the fuzz is it makes the guitar sing, especially in the higher register. So if you hold a nice melody, it just makes it sing. And let's try it without. And with.
Too harsh.
Yeah, it's not harsh at all. And that's important with instrumental music, because when you are in the upper frets of the guitar, after a while it gets really tiring to the ears, especially the high register and the high frequencies. Mm-hmm. So the fuzz just evens everything out, makes everything sing.
Yeah, there's a whole science to it.
Yeah. You can stand to listen to leads a lot longer.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
So that's it for the Plexi. Let's check out the third preset. Okay, so the third preset is my more modern tone. And when I say modern, it's just maybe advance a decade. Because I grew up in the 90s and that's modern to me. And the amp model of choice for this preset is the SLO, the Soldano.
Yeah.
Based on the Soldano SLO30, which is pretty much, you know, one of my favorite amps of all time. And this is how that sounds. A lot more thicker sounding, a lot more beatier, more low end. But still dynamic, response to your picking.
It's kind of fuzzy actually.
A little fuzzy. And that is true to the original mission of the Soldano, which is more of a hot-rodded Marshall style with extended low end. And since it's already a thick enough sounding amp, we are conservative with the bass control just at noon, right? And then the treble and middle up to around 6 or 7, as well as the presence. That way we have the Soldano toothiness, but there's still a lot of low end support. And as for the gain, I still want it to be dynamic. responsive to the volume knob, so we didn't turn it all the way up. Okay, and then
It's kind of all the way.
almost all the way.
Almost.
Not quite.
Yeah, not quite.
And then the green bag is still the same treatment. Bump up the level.
3 dB.
Then low cut at 80.
80.
Yeah. So basically, we just changed amp heads. Okay, and then same room reverb, and that is the basic tone.
Yeah, that Van Halen for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge sound.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Now we go into scene 2.
Yeah, here you go.
Okay, scene 2, we have the same EQ setting, we have the same tape delay, tape echo, right? And the same reverb. The main difference is the boost. So I'm taking a page out of the Joe Satriani playbook and using a DS1 as my boost. And even though it says distortion, the main idea is not to add more distortion, but rather to shape the distortion. Okay, let's turn it off. So if we turn it off, turn it on. So it adds this nice quality in the upper mid-range that lets it cut through the mix. But at the same time, it doesn't turn your tone shrill. It doesn't really give you that ice pick in the ear feeling, especially when you're in the upper frets. And then it just gives you a lot of nice, comfortable gain. Let's go into scene 3.
There.
And scene 3 is my AT style rhythm patch for the Soldano. Again, inspired by Eddie. So Soldano with the addition of a detune modulation effect, post amp. This widens out the stereo space and just makes everything sound bigger. Do you use this effect?
I use it for some solo stuff. I actually use it on double tracks. I have a double track left and right, and for the center sound, that's where I put my detune. So I have a wall of sound.
Okay, so it's like a simulated quadruple track.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I like the delay as well because it's not, or the tape echo. Yeah, it doesn't get in the way of your playing as you're playing. Then when you stop, it's nice. Gives you a nice ambience. Okay, so I think I have my tones for the new NUX MG300 Mark II. I will end out this video with some clips of me taking it to band rehearsal, and you'll be able to hear it in a full band context. That's where we're headed right after this shoot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we only scratched the surface of the MG300 Mark II in this video. The main point of this video is to show you guys my thinking behind my presets and to let you guys know that these will be baked into the MG300 Mark II once it starts shipping out and is available through all NUX dealers.
So if you guys want to sound like him, just get this at your local music store or online, then boom, you'll have a perf tone in your hands in no time.
And if you want to dive into more details, you can find them at
www.nuxaudio.com. Yeah.
nuxaudio.com.
Yeah.
And of course, don't forget to check out Joko's playing and his music.
Yeah, so just search Joko Orientaso Music on all social media platforms and all streaming platforms.
And of course, all the relevant links, affiliate or otherwise, will be in the video description. So drop by, use these links to go shopping, and help us keep making these videos for everybody to enjoy. Thank you so much. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this next video, so click on it to watch, then go grab your guitar and play something. You all know the drill?
Practice makes perfecto.
Cheers, guys.